Hello everyone and welcome to the knockout stage draw RWC 2022 after 3.5 weeks, and if I have the exact number, then 186 matches. We have the final 32 of this originally 60-person tournament. I think finished by 57. This sixth World Championship, as always, is the two-stage tournament of the year, the only one of the year, the most prestigious one. And of those, there are obviously the exciting moments, and this is probably second to none. This is where the paths for the final 4 weeks of the tournament are set. The final 32 players get their first opponent and see their path to the eventual potential grand final in 4 weeks' time. So as always, this will be a very exciting procession when we assign these places one by one, and I will be joined by I don't even know how should I say this, but my great friend Janini. I was gonna go with something more creative, but anyway, hello.
No, that is perfectly sufficient. I don't need need no extra introduction. I'm just once again happy to do this draw together with you. And as you said, it's one of the most exciting moments that will shape up the whole rest of the tournament. Just a long time, and yeah, can really determine how easy or hard it will be for someone to get as far as they want to. I do have to put a little remark at the back of that, because last year we had a single elimination bracket for the first time in this KO stage. This year we're going back one time to a double elimination bracket, so it still does matter, but if you lose, you're still in the real bracket. So I think it matters a little bit less. It still matters a lot, of course, who you're gonna get, how hard it's gonna be to get to later rounds, but you always have that second chance. So that's gonna impact things quite a lot as well.
Yeah, doesn't make the knockout stage draw any less of a pressure or any less of excitement, but you're going back to this usual, or like the old ways of a double elimination tournament. Actually we talked about it today, and it's quite strange that at once it was I guess the bane of all existence, yet another double elim tournament, but this is the first one since August of 2024, so it's a big return, and what a way to return to this format with the 32 best players of the community.
Absolutely. I think it will be very exciting, and a lot of people will be looking forward to, of course, single elimination is very exciting, and if you do one mistake, you can be out. But I think double elim can often also give great players a second chance when they've been unlucky or just faced a hard opponent. So it's going to be interesting to watch over the next weeks.
Yeah, indeed. We will, I think, talk about the format specifics after we have the bracket, just so we don't delay it any further. But 32-player double elimination bracket starts in a first to 6 rounds for 2 rounds, and then becoming first to 8 since then, all the way to a first to 12 grand final. But that's obviously for much, much later. It's November 23rd is the final date, if I'm not mistaken. But until then, and we promised to go over to the groups, and we are already just 7 minutes to go. I think just gonna very quickly mention
It'll be fine.
Yeah, I think so. We will try to. I think we can spend infinite amount of time per group, but we will try to limit it to like 1 minute. So I guess I will start with Group A.
I think.
You go ahead.
Yeah. No, I didn't have much to say. I was just saying, if you have a little bit of a delay, I think that's fine as well. But yes, Group A, very exciting group, has a lot of big names. And interestingly enough, Mika clutched the group victory here against over the favorite Scruffy, and didn't lose a single match. Tied one, yes. But in terms of matches, undefeated.
Yeah, I guess it makes such of a twist to the tale, because I think every 1 seed is gonna be tough to get, and it's like I was gonna say one to avoid, but it's literally not how the group stage or the group knockout stage draw works. But that means that Scruffy as a second seed will be, I think, the single one that you want to most avoid. So it'll be interesting to see how which of the poor 3 seeds get him in the first round, or maybe lucky ones if they fancy an upset. We will have 2 Americans as the 3rd and 4th seed, as Ludus PNG is on his campaign to finish 9th again, but hopefully better this time. But all jokes aside, he's one of the more consistent top 10 players of the community, so he will be tough to get. And then Zai finally unleashing his full potential and making it to the second stage of a tournament for the first time in his career. Heartbreakingly close. R16 and 17 performances followed this one. Anything else from here, or could we go to Group B?
No, not really. Just T-Note returned and just barely even made KO stages, so it's also something to mention, but we can move on, yeah.
Group B is, I guess, at the first glance, was really, really difficult for 4 players and really, really difficult for other reasons for the other 4, because I guess I'm gonna quickly start with Pak and Glebak and Frank the Eagle, and Welfare Checks are one of our rookies, who I think the 4 players that we find in the top 4 slots were always gonna be the top 4 there, unless of course something extraordinary happens. But they did well. They won maps and matches, and especially huge shout out to Peck, finishing with 3 wins at 15 points, but it was just a different league for the top 4 here.
Absolutely. You can see, like, they all fought very hard within these groups for these points. I mean, as you can see, the gaps between 36 and 30 points for a 4th seed is quite a lot. They fought each other tooth and nail, but in the end, they settled on this distribution, and Timecube just a little bit better in this group than the other 3.
Yeah, that will make Timecube for the 2nd year in a row, if not 3rd in a row, top seed. Reaper and Channel, also 2 Americans, making it at least 5 from the first 2 groups to make it to the knockout stage, and Alf, the R17 runner-up, closely, could have been 1st, could have been 4th, if not by a couple maps, but will be a 3rd seed in Group B. Group C, led by Deinomos and won by Deinomos, and I don't think there was a huge doubt at any point that he would win this group, finishing with 28 points and 5 wins, but a very interesting loss to actually Geeks RH, who clinched a very important 4th place with those very important 4 points there, with Apricot finishing 2nd and PG being the final player to advance, clinching the qualification spot just 2 hours ago.
Yeah, I mean, this was a very close group. I mean, Dine definitely pretty much, like, convincingly won this group, but other than that, like, look at how close place 3 to 6, or even, place 2 as well, like, all was. It could have been, like, one map that decided if you advance or not. Like, Gigs at 18 points random, and Cobalt both have 17. That was, like, you can't make it any closer to, I mean, big congrats to players who advanced, but it could have just well been random or Cobalt, but, yeah, definitely stood some trials there.
I think moving on to Group D, and I'm gonna keep it short so that you can tell the story of this group, I think, because
I can try. Now, as you can see, like, once again, especially Grary, Skylar, and me, that was a pretty interesting battle. Like, up until the last map for Grary and me, there was nothing settled here. So, but in the end, this is going to be the final order, all very, very close. But even then, look at Skylar. He so barely came 3rd, but won all of his matches. So that's also a big feat, a very impressive one. Just dropped 1 too many maps. And then we have I Like Hitman, also a very solid performance, got 24. Then once again, a bit of a gap, but Linux Sparkles also did pretty well, but was just not enough in this group. But hard fight for the top was basically the story of this group, I think.
I think I'm just repeating myself from the cast a couple hours ago, but I think Skylar became the first player, and I think will be for a couple of years, to win all his 7 matches and not finish in the top 2. And you see how specific circumstances you need to get there, 32, 32, and 30 for the top 3. The 4-2 curse, as he liked to say it, cursed him to a very impressive 3rd place.
Yeah, that is definitely impressive. But unfortunate, of course, for him. Just the math didn't work out.
But maybe unfortunate for a 2nd seat, because now they might get someone who did not lose a match, unlike them. Now to Group E, which was the first one to finish, mostly because of the collision forfeit a couple of days ago, but regardless, I think the order was set here as early as Wednesday evening or Tuesday evening. Quatility was headlining this group, and he did deliver with 6 wins from 6 matches, only dropping 2 maps along the way, and confidently ahead of basically everyone else. It was its own interesting little battle of a 4-player tournament with Ducker and Duddykins, I think, securing their spots earlier. And then for the final spot, Mr. Mike played Oh Shit Man. Poor Osh, always getting into these fights of either finishing 4th or 5th, and this time it was 5th yet again after Mr. Mike swept him on the final week, and that's how we got our final 4 here, with Osh 5th ahead of Fusk with his 1 win as well.
Got nothing to add. Solid, great dominance from Quad, and then exciting fight, especially between Mike, Duddykins, and Osh. But worked out for Mike and Duddykins.
Yeah, many ties in this year's group stage. I don't remember adding so many or breaking so many of them by hand on some pages. Group F, it was an interesting back and forth. The 1st, 3rd, 5th, and 7th groups were the smaller ones, and these ones, B, D, F, and H, the larger ones. So we just jumped from 7 to 8 players. Crescent was once again the top seed and the winning seed, and I think for the most part he looked set to win his group. 7 wins, of course. So the latest he secured it when he defeated Hausen and Joker J. But of course we had to wait quite a long time, actually, for the final day when he played, I think, 2 of his matches.
Yeah. But definitely a great performance by him. And this is also a very difficult group. I think there were some great matches here. Our returner Blythe also qualifying is whom we should be mentioning. Definitely found his stride and got in here as a 4th in a very strong group of, Crash and House and Joker. And then Omni, of course, is a newer player, but also delivered great performances. So didn't make it this year, but I think I have high hopes for them to, maybe make it next time.
2 more groups to go, and obviously running over time a bit, but not too much.
That's all right.
Group G was a 7-player group with myself as the 1st seed, and I did manage to win the group, but I think there were so many very interesting moments then, especially on the final week and especially on the final day. I guess I can just take this group for myself, mentioning it for my loss was to Afro, who looked at one point to win the group even, and then Dave and I did a 3-3 with, I think, like a pool boom spin. So and then all of these matches and results put the top and the middle closer and closer. As you can see, Ice finished his group with 0 points, but he was actually very competent in all of his matches, and it's actually just like an injustice that he didn't score at least a couple of draws or a couple of map wins. But that meant that the other 6 players could pretty closely fight for those 4 spots. And as you can see, that the cutoff was really, really close in the middle. And I don't think we had an idea until the final day that it would be 20 points, which Chris would advance as the 4th seed. But you can see Afro 22, Dave 21, Chris 20, Para 18, and Flyfu 18. Having to mention that Afro needed 2 points from her final match, and luckily it is a happy end for her, but not for Flyfu, because Fly in their final match took a 4-0 lead, and I guess looked set to finish the sweep, but Afro fought back on the RNG map of Colorado and took the final 2 points that she needed, and actually secured 2nd place, while Flyfu finished 6th. That's how close it was. If that final map went the other way around, it's not 2nd and 6th, but 5th and 3rd or something like that.
Yeah, an insanely close group, as you said. Really, like the second group, also really, really close, even more so, and so competitive. It was such a hard-fought battle, and I really also do agree with you that all of these would have deserved to advance. But there's only 4 spots here in this really tough group. But so congrats to all of them who made the cut, because this was a really tough one.
And last but not least, I'll keep it short and give it to you, Group H. See, I'm not fully sure who was the 1st seed here. But Frode did play like he was the best in this group, taking his first place, fighting closely with Nezuko, and Kenny and Tiki taking the other two spots.
Yeah, I think just, I mean, Kenny delivered definitely a strong performance. Like, I don't think many people would have put him over Nezuko. So that was very well done by him. But otherwise, I think went pretty much as would have been expected. TK and Alex with that very, very close battle only eliminated by tie. So yeah, Nezuko was actually first seed, by the way. So he, yeah, but Frody performed very, very well. So nothing to say there anymore.
Yeah, especially their 6-0 match against Nezuko, basically for the group win, was, I guess, the deciding point, and a pretty interesting one at that. But yeah, that is how we got to the final of 32. And now, well, it's not going to be now when we turn the 32 into 1, but it's the task of the next 4 weeks. But what we can do is turn the 32 on their own path to that grand final. Let's see if it works out. We are indeed on the bracket draw sheet now, and we got there with a 5-minute delay, but just like, I guess, when we were here 3.5 weeks ago, just gonna quickly mention the process of this, and then we will let the wheel do the talking. 32 players in 4 different seeds, as of course the 1 seed, the 2 seed, the 3 and the 4, categorized by their finishing position in the group. We will go group by group and place them into their according slot. The first group, we are going to the cells where the 1 is marked. That's no news by itself, but these players will get paired with someone with a 4 seed, obviously ensuring that group winners will play 4th place finishers from other groups, and then the same will happen for the 2 seeds and the 3 seeds. A couple other restrictions are in place. Most of them will be intently watched by Yanni, as making sure that this bracket does not soft lock or result in any of the paradoxes, meaning that 2 players from one group will not be in the same quarter, which means if Mika is put here, then no one else from group A can be put close to Mika. Same for any other groups, of course. And then the additional restriction is that the group winner and the 2nd place finisher from the group will be in different halves. So that will already ensure that sometimes you will see someone being drawn into a certain slot, but we will put them into or actually Yanni will put them in the other half. That is all by design. And if anything doesn't make sense, I think we will stop and we'll answer any questions. But
exactly,
I think it will all make sense in the end. So it is, so first it's the 8 first seeds and then the 2nd seeds and so on. So we will not see any pairings yet, but we will see the bracket shape up quickly or in time. Any questions? Mostly from chat, but mostly for Yanni as well.
exactly. Feel free to ask. I think you explained it very well. I will just watch the restrictions, and I will stop and explain if there's anything, that's not immediately obvious.
Indeed. And of course, Yanni is here in the first step because as we draw the names, we will put them in their first available slot from top to bottom, from left to right. So I think everything is ready. The 8 group winners, Mika, Timecube, Dane, Gregory, Quatility, Crescent, myself, and Frot7 are put into the system, and I will roll the first player to be drawn into the 2025 World Championship knockout stage.
Let's go.
And no one can hear, I think, the wheel turning. We'll see if I can fix it during the draws. But in the meantime, Quatility is the first one to be drawn and takes the top left spot, the quote-unquote first seed. And I think as a result, he will, as long as he's in the winner's bracket, will be player 1, will pick the first map, or his first map will be played first, if that's any argument for or against or anything.
Yes, shouldn't make the biggest difference, but it is definitely something to note. But yeah, let's move on. In the same quarter will be Dynamos.
The group E winner and the group C winner, obviously they are not scheduled to play, but the earliest they can play is round 3, and they are in the same quarter. It is possible that they play, or is it possible that some other seeds will knock them down to the LB before that? Second quarter, first name and Quati and Dane will be joined by Crescent 7.
Yeah, we saw quite a strong performance in a also not easy group, so very nice. Let's see who's gonna join him in that quarter.
A player in this group.
Ooh,
Well, it's gonna be close.
close. Oh, it's gonna be Frody.
Barely, it's gonna be Frody.
Very barely. Yes.
I really want to fix the audio, but I might just take 1 minute between rounds.
Go ahead. Yeah, but yeah, take your time. I think that's all right. I can, if you don't do it now, I can entertain the chat a little bit.
I think the way I can do this is by adding the other type of co-caster audio, but now you won't be hearing double. If you can talk now.
I can try to talk. Yes.
Yes, that was way too many decibels, but by the end of the sentence, I think I figured it out. All right.
That's good.
Okay, second half. No, yes, the second half of the bracket.
Yes, correct.
Filled by the first seeds.
Yeah, it's always very important in which quarter and which half you're gonna get play in place. Like, what are your possible opponents, even from the same seed?
It's gonna be Gregory first. Leaving
He
us.
can't be. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I don't even know what I wanted to say. 3 more names.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, 3 very strong names though. So the second half already is gonna be shaping up to be quite difficult. But of course, all first seeds are. So yeah, let's see who's also gets Gregory, the third place finisher of last tournament.
I'm just so happy to hear that the audio edits so much, and it's probably not a sarcastic message. Gregory will play Time Cube in the third quarter. Well,
Right.
the real play is doing a lot of heavy lifting.
Yes, but might play.
Yeah. Slated to play, projected to play, anything like that.
Since they are first seeds, I think it's fair to say that that's the expectation. Anything else, of course, would be, like the chances that all the first seeds go through round 3 are very low. That's not gonna happen, but I'm gonna say like at least one of the matches will be like 2 first seeds against each other. So, that's the opponent you're expected to play if everything goes to according to the seeds, which it won't. But it's still very, very important.
Yeah, it's a good summary. It will happen or it will not. And now the order between Mika and myself.
Mika first. As you said, like Mika and you are already determined to be in the same quarter, but Mika will get that 7th slot, and let's spin it one more time.
I gotta have intention sometimes. Let's see.
Oh, let's in for fun. My God, I wouldn't have expected that.
I don't think that was intentional, but that was such a nice Gleb accent.
It was not intentional, no. That was my sarcastically shocked voice.
Such a hypecast. But yeah, first 8 names are placed there, and I see that, yeah, okay, very alphabetical order that we've been placing these players in, or not. Yeah. Let's just try to add that second seed list to the system. We will have Scruffy from group A, Reaper from group B, Apricot from C, yourself from D, Ducker, D for Ducker is from group E, Hausen from F, Afro from G, and Codename Kenny from H.
All these letters that are also in the first 8 letters of the alphabet are screwing in my head. D from E, H from F. But yeah.
Yeah, should have made it alphabetical somehow, but maybe for a different draw.
Let's see. Once again, the most important rule to remember, that Fan already mentioned, is that you can't go in the the second seeds can't go in the same half as the first seed of their group.
Indeed.
So
Just one
only four
thing.
options for them.
For now, there's only one thing to look out for. It will become more as we go to the second half, but it's just easing into the different restrictions.
Exactly. I'm gonna have to pay more and more attention.
We will try. We will starting off with Afro, who, being my group mate, can go into the first half.
Absolutely, very much correct. And she will be in that first quarter, and the same 8. I don't know if that's a word as fertility. So
I think it's
definitely
like
not an easy draw.
It's like octate or octat, or I'm not sure. But...
Also sounds good.
Achtia finale.
Yes, that. I can also say that.
Adjacent to Dane, will we find Reaper 47? The Group B player can go in there.
Yep, he absolutely can. So far, nothing special happened, but yeah, first quarter already shaping up quite nicely. Quatty, Afro, Dean, and Reaper, very monstrous so far.
I have a feeling all 4 of them will be quite monstrous. I'm very interested to see.
I just I always know that, of course we're gonna draw the 16 best people here, but still, I read the 4 names of the quarter and I'm like, I don't want to be there. That's just not nice.
If I can stop for one personal moment, I just realized that Mika is in my quarter, which means Scruffy can't be in our half, so I'm already very happy, and let's probably see. Yeah.
True. A lot of personal stakes going on here. You like some people from the same group as someone you don't want are blocking. It's
yeah, exactly.
Very interesting.
Mika's the goat. We get Hausen next, but that is, yeah, exactly your cursor or next to Crescent, but that we'll have to
Can't
move
go there.
into. So that's gonna be the bottom half for Hausen between Gregory and Timecube with an undisclosed 3rd seed for now.
Exactly. Let's see who we're gonna now, where we can place them. Actually, it's gonna be myself, who can absolutely and has to go in the first half because Gregory's in the second half. So I'm gonna slot in right there, adjacent to Crescent.
Potential Crescent match round 2, Frody round 3, but of course that's assuming that you guys beat the lower seed beforehand, but still, those are some very exciting matchups that could happen or will happen.
One more for the top half, 3 more for the bottom half, and we already know that Daka cannot go there, so Daka will go in that 3rd quarter with Gregory, Hausen, Timecube, and himself, which is now filled up with 1st and 2nd seeds.
Yep, the final 3 names. 1 can go into the top half and 2 into the bottom half, but before we actually solve it, let's just draw the names and
I just draw it. I think we could all explain how the math works out, but we can just draw and then explain, I think. And Apricot has to slot into that second half or the 4th quarter.
Mika versus Apricot, North American matchup, of which I think this is the only one so far, but of course a lot more Americans in the 3rd and 4th seeds, and we might have actually winners bracket round 1 matches, US versus US.
Very possible. And now we have 2, which are basically determined, but we'll definitely still draw them. And Scruffy has to go in that first half, where he's gonna sit now with Crescent, myself, Frody, and yeah, him. That is not good. I don't like my chances here.
And we can stop there to talk about it for just a minute, but that does look like the toughest so far. With Codename Kenny rounding off the 2nd seed draw and slotting in the 4th quarter, adjacent to myself. Yeah, I think my eyes are definitely on that 2nd quarter for now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in it myself, and I think all the other 3 players have performed better than me in the group stage, so that I don't like my chances. But yeah, it looks very tough. Even like when I, try to take the bias out, I think that is still a pretty tough group. But yeah, I mean, the others aren't anything to joke about either.
Gonna be very interested to see, and of course 4 more players into each quarter, and 16 in total will make up this entire bracket stage, so could make it even tougher. I don't think it will make any easier from now on, but it could add some other context as we go along. So into the second half now, which is gonna be I think especially the third seeds are we have to pay close attention.
Yeah,
And
the 4 seeds are easy. The 3rd seeds are the problem. Yes.
yeah, hopefully with a pen and paper or just hands in the air.
Literally just right now I got a pen and now I'm ready.
Let's go. If Yanni is ready, then so should we be. The third seeds are from A to H: Slug.png, Alf, Pijero, Skylar, Mr. Mike, Joker J, Magic Dave 94, and Zuko Chan. Yeah, let's go with the third seeds. Alf is the first one to stop, who is from Group B.
Yes, and that of course means he cannot go in the first quarter, and then that means he will play against myself actually in the second quarter.
Ooh, that's a very recent rematch. Actually, the first match that is confirmed.
Yes.
It's a rematch of the R17 semifinals. 8-6,
Yep.
if I'm not mistaken.
Absolutely. From the last recent tournament, knocked me out in semifinals and finished second. So does not get easier in the second quarter.
Oh yeah, Crescent is the only one who's not at least a grand finalist, but I think judging by talent, he should belong there, and maybe just by the end of next month he will be. Okay, very tough one. Let's see if we can make other quarters even more tough. Second player
Indeed.
to be John.
It's going to be Joker J from Group F, which means he can and will go into that first quarter playing against Afro.
No restrictions so far. As easy as it gets. Yeah, Alf in the second quarter, yeah. Joker in the first. 6 more names to go. Some obviously can't go in certain halves anymore. Maybe certain quarters anymore. Mr. Mike is the next one.
Mr. Mike is coming from Group E, and now I will have to explain this because in the last quarter we already have players of Group A, C, G, and H, and we've already drawn players of Group B and F, which are 2 of the options that can go there. So that means Mr. Mike actually has to go all the way in the last quarter, and will play against Apricot.
Indeed. In other words, if we put Mr. Mike in his first immediately possible place of next to Scruffy, that would actually lock out of players from the final quarter, and we would just look at each other and not sure who to put there. And that is the only way it works out if Mr. Mike goes into the fourth quarter immediately. Very appreciate the fact that you were looking, and I think that's basically the only thing that can go wrong. And now that we are ready with this one,
pretty much,
we can sort out Pijero next.
Jero cannot go in the first quarter, will therefore go into that second quarter, playing against Scruffy.
Well, I think many people in many channels knew that this would happen. I think either this, yeah. Either this or against Nezuko, but yeah, I think it was kind of guaranteed. 1 in 4 they say, but
that is insane. He talked about it in this chat, I think, earlier. I think he like kind of said like, give me Scruffy or something. So he got his wish.
And I think a couple of minutes ago he also said that, yeah, this quarter and Scruffy himself. So now it's Yanni, Alf, Yanni, Fruit, Scruffy, PG, the 4 are champions. Alf, they are runner-up, and Crescent, one of the top form players. Oh my goodness. 4 down, 4 to go.
Now we have Skylar from Group D, who, for the same reasons as I explained earlier, has to also go into that last quarter where he'll play against Codename Kenny.
we promise that we will put people in the first half as well, and I think it's getting to that point at this point. But yeah, 3 names, second and fourth quarter already settled. So now it's for just 3 more names to sort out: Luke.png, MagicDave94, and Izuko-chan.
Exactly, and we have the third quarter still has 2 slots left, and the first quarter has 1 slot left. So the 2 are full. But for now, we'll draw Luke PNG, who can go in the first available slot, which will be first quarter. We'll play against Reaper.
Yeah, and our main goal was to not soft lock this system during the 3rd seed. As you can see, we have the G and the H left, and they can actually go to F and E. So thank you, Yanni. Good job again, and good job to everyone. It will work out. So now the question is, we can see Hausen and Ducker waiting a 3rd seed opponent, and we have Dave and Izuko left. So it's now basically a coin flip to decide who plays Hausen.
Gonna be Nizuko-chan, as it looks like.
Hausen versus Izuko. I'm not confident to say they have matched up before, but I feel like they could have.
Very possible, to be honest. Then our new player, Magic Dave, who had a great performance and got the first heat, is gonna play against one of the oldest players in terms of experience, Ducker.
Yeah, Dave is not exactly a rookie, and I also made that mistake during the group stage of the first year player. And the quite opposite that you can have is Ducker with his, I think, 23rd RR participation. He and Froth are the only 2 players who have never missed the tournament. Yeah, I kind of have to pause in my head because I am trying to, and I have figured out who I can get as possible opponents, so it's just very hard to also talk about the the bracket draw. But here we are after 24 players set and 8 to go. First 8 matchups are already confirmed. You can go through them, I think, at the end, just very shortly, but I also don't want to mention 32 names, but I think we will find it anyway. For now, I think it's time to slot our 4th seeded players, which is a very interesting group of people, especially with this year, because of course last year they were, I think they are always great and talented and ready to make their mark on the knockout stage by pulling off a couple upsets, but I think last year no one could upset a 1st seed player, which is not a surprise in a first weight, but also because it's a single elimination tournament, that means that their tournament ended. So this year they are in a much better situation. This is double elim. They have chances to upset the 1st seed in a shorter match or make their mark in the LB. So much better situation. And yeah, exactly. We have Zai as the amazingly large letters here. Followed by Channel Jones from B, Gigs RH from C, I Like Hitman, Daddykins, Blythe, Chris X3, and TK47 as the 8 4th seeds of this tournament. I think we are ready to the draw.
And basically now it is more or less determined, just a coin flip. Like every player has an assigned quarter already, just needs to be decided who they're going to play against. We're actually going to start with the comically large Zai, who has to go in the 3rd quarter, and so will play as the first player drawn there against Gary.
By taking a glance, Yanni could see that Luke.png was in the 1st quarter, Scruffy was in the 2nd quarter, Mika in the 4th quarter, so that obviously means that he could only go into the 3rd, and that was the first available slot of the 2. So most of this draw is a procession, but still gonna be very interesting to see where these coin flips end up being.
Then we have Blythe from Group F. Once again, in every other quarter, already someone from Group F. So Blythe will go in the 4th quarter and play against Mika.
The returning R champion versus the returning talent who maybe should have been a champ, but Mika has been amazingly doing amazingly well, and I think Blythe is only getting faster and better each match. That will be one of the very interesting matchups of round 1. 6 names, becoming 5 soon, and we might end up filling out that quarter
very close.
with Channel
Oh.
being the next one barely from Group B.
Indeed. And you have now also found your opponent. So Channel Joint against Infofun is going to be the last match of that last quarter.
Channel Joint, who this time last year eliminated Phenium in round 1, and then took Scruffy to the final map in round 2, so definitely someone capable of doing very, very well on his day. 5 to go.
Also another very close one.
Oh, and I could just hear the
Yeah,
ticker.
6 over, yeah. That's Duddikins, who is gonna go into that second quarter, where he'll play against Crescent.
I don't know much about like players' individual goals of this tournament, but Duddy himself said that he wants to win at least one match and he's ready to make it in the LB instead. It's gonna be difficult because adjacent winners bracket matches will play in the loser bracket as well, so we will talk about it later, but this is a very tough quarter to get and it has LB implications as well.
Yep, very much so. But first, let's finish up the draw. Only 4 more names are to be drawn. Then we have our full bracket. And for now, we get I Like Hitman, who can finally go in our first quarter, where he'll play against Fertility.
The first player to be drawn finally gets his opponent. It's gonna be Quatility versus I Like Hitman at the top of the brackets. And then the 3 names.
They have their 3 slots. We're just gonna go through them one by one. Chris is gonna have to go into that second quarter. He's gonna finish it up, and will play against Shodi.
Yeah. Oh my god, poor Chris. It's just or poor Frody, or I guess poor everyone.
Yeah, depends. Yep.
Chris has been suspiciously quiet for the last 30 seconds. Oh, hey, there he is. Who's my LB1 matchup? I don't know, brackets. It's gonna be the loser of Scruffy versus Pijero. So
Exactly.
this is gonna be so brutal that some of these names literally don't get top 16 or like, top 24.
Yeah, some of them are just gonna lose 2 matches in a row, and which you would not expect, but that's how it's gonna shape up to be.
Oh my god. When we calm down, we will have to figure out how this one matches up in the all-time toughest quarters.
Yeah. But one thing after another, we have 2 more names to draw. One is gonna play against Dynamos, and one is gonna play against the Time Cube. But first we have Gix from Group C, who's gonna have to go into that third quarter, and is therefore playing against the Time Cube. Another American matchup.
Yeah, we are finally getting those, and it was bound to happen with the USA making so many names to the final 32, but then for the second of our African players, we'll be quite close to our first of our African players. TK47 will play Dynamos in the first quarter.
And that is our bracket all finished up.
Here we have it. I guess I can zoom.
Zoom.
Yeah, I guess one. I just read it out once and then we see where we go from there. Round 1 for the 2025 World Travels World Championship will feature the 16 matches: Quatility versus I Like Hitman, Afro versus Joker J, Dynamos versus TK47, the Reaper 47 versus Look.png. From the second quarter, it's Crescent 7 versus Duddikins, Yanini versus Alf, Frody 7 versus Chris X3, and Scruffy versus Pijero. And then to start the bottom half of the bracket, we have Gregory versus Zai, Hausen versus Nizuko-chan, Timecube versus Geeks RH, and Tucker versus Magic Dave 94. And in the final quarter, we have Mika versus Blythe, Apricot versus Mr. Mike, Infofirm versus Channel Joined, and last but not least, Codename Kenny versus Skylar.
Yep, those are the matches that will happen right away, first of all, and from that we will have lots more exciting matches shaping up. First thing to note is, as Fun mentioned, we haven't had a loser bracket in a while. Now we'll have it again, and what it means is, as already mentioned, that if you have two adjacent matches, for example, the very first one, Quatility versus I Like Hitman, and then the adjacent matches Afro versus Joker, the winner will play against each other in round 2, and the two losers of those matches will play also against each other in the losers bracket round 1, and then we go from there. So you are like the 4 players that are forming one tiny little group. Those are very important for the first 2 games that you will be playing.
Yeah, put it in other words, each 4 players, one of them will be eliminated by LB1, which is if you, I think, specifically look at Froth, Chris, Scruffy, PG.
It's rough.
They do not deserve to finish 25th, none of these. That's gonna be unbelievable. But also now that the smoke has cleared, Gregory, Zai, Hausen, Nezuko, these are also players who could imagine go a couple rounds, any one of them. And then Dane, TK, Reaper, Luke, Dog. I think it's a bit tough for TK, but the other 3 names, or obviously first to 6 means anything can happen, but that's gonna be tough. But also, I think the entire first quarter is very even with Quati, I Like Hitman, Afro, Joker J in the top half.
Yeah, very much so. I can't argue against that. It's gonna be super interesting. I think we have some lovely draws here. Yeah.
I guess the one other thing I can do, that's this. Is this gonna make it better or worse? I don't know, but
Try it out.
I'll try it out. I'm not ready to fill out. I should be able to fill out the names, right?
I think you can. I think you should be able to copy paste. Yeah.
I mean, I have to do it in 2 steps. So that it doesn't mess up the formatting. Later. Yeah, we can do it later.
Looks pretty good. It's up to you.
Meh.
I think this is good enough. But yeah.
Okay, that's not supposed to happen. Okay. Anyways, okay. What I wanted to say is actually the top half, because the first 2 rounds of the winner bracket and the first 3 rounds of the loser bracket are first to 6. And players will have 1 ban and 1 pick each, with the usual 4 RNG. But in terms of its usual or not usual, these are hidden RNG, just like last year. The RWCs, once again, and I think for the foreseeable future, will have hidden RNG, which means that after the 2 maps are played, which are known in advance, the 3rd map will only be known after the 2nd map finishes. So players can't specifically practice for that maps. So that makes it a pretty interesting first to 6. I don't think we had this combination before, because last year it started at first to 8, but someone could be 2 to 2 and get screwed by RNG, which is pretty weird way of saying, but will be very wide, especially for these close seed matchups. But yeah. Sorry, I wasn't sure you were gonna say something.
No, I wasn't. I was no, but I can now add that, as you said, that it's gonna be an interesting combination which we haven't really had like this in a very long time. But there's also some more room for error, right? Because now we have hidden RNG, but there's also a double elimination bracket, so that is gonna go hand in hand this time. And we have lots of different formats, and I'm very curious to see how this one will shape up. And as you can see, like, yeah, we have the first few rounds, first to 6, and then first to 8, and every player gets an additional pick. And then the very last games, LB final, winner bracket final will be first to 10, and then you get another ban on top of it, as you can all see in the top right. And then the grand final will once more go on above and be first to 12.
Yeah, 2 specifics. One is known because it's always the case, but the map will reset for the grand final and will feature no RNG maps. I don't see it fully in the end, but I think because it's double elimination, someone will pick the 11th map and someone will pick the 12th map, so there will be no random part of the bracket draw.
Correct. Yep.
Of the map picks. But something that is new for this double elim tournament is that the LB final will also empty or reset the map pool. So
Yes.
if you make it to the final 3, no matter from the winners or the losers, but you will have the full map pool to work with, and you will have 2 bans and 2 picks from that one to work your way back to the final.
Not important for a lot of people, only for 3 in total, but very good to know still, should you make it there.
Yeah. The rest is, of course, for the middle of November to figure out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Picking up the question from Dream, the first matches, all of these 32 players can now schedule their matches, and the KO stage will officially start tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central European time. It's not summertime anymore. Do watch out for that if you're scheduling across the Atlantic, because North America is still in summertime and Europe is in wintertime. So keep that in mind. But from 10 a.m. tomorrow, which is in 11 hours and 20 minutes, more or less. From then on, you can schedule a match and they can be played.
Very well said. Any other questions about anything really that's RWC related?
Yeah, and if you have a question that we couldn't answer here, then of course you're very welcome to put them on Discord. We will also post this bracket draw. It's transformed over to the RWC chat, and then we'll ping everyone, and you can schedule your matches.
Yeah, there are 60 matches still, 64, 62 or 64. They will probably overlap, but
Curry Maker's asking a great question. Are there going to be awards given out at the end of the tournament? Wow, I'm so glad you asked. There's this guy, Curry Maker, who hosts the RR Awards this year for the second time. And it depends on nominations from everyone to fill up the categories. Fun just posted the link in the chat. Go there, already nominate some clips, players, whatever it is, for the respective categories, and especially towards the end of RWC, when you have a full picture of the whole year in roulette, then think about who are deserving of the awards and go nominate. It helps immensely.
Yeah, it's a wonderful time of the year always, and yeah, just mentioned that it is in a way the event of the year, but community event of the year is one of the categories. I don't think you can vote for the the award show, but it's a really nice time when we can reflect on the 1 year of competitions and moments and excitement and all that, and yeah, so that people have the most informed way of voting. We need the best nominations, and so for that we await your nominations, be it anything from player of the year to most improved player of the year, anything about clips, even saves, photo finishes, or greatest matches, and of course anything in between. You can see the list of categories on the website. It is once again that's the wrong link, but if I click this and post it, it's rrrewards.tv. Please nominate.
Yep, and that's our paid promotion. No, of course not. Our voluntary promotion part done. And I don't think I have anything more to add to this draw.
I don't think I have either. To go back to the actual scene, just to finish it up with the players that we have drawn. This is gonna be the path towards the 2025 World Championship title. Very, very curious to see how it shapes up. I don't really have anything to add, so if you don't have anything, and if you don't have any more questions, I see Boychuk asking how many matches. It kind of works out almost perfectly, twice as many as players, so it's 62 or 64 or something like that. Because if it's single elim, it's 31, because every match eliminates someone, but I think it takes 2 matches to eliminate someone, so it's 32 or 33. 62 or 63.
Yes, it's 63, if I'm not mistaken.
Ah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. 2 times participants minus 1. Basically. But yeah, a lot of matches.
Yeah, I don't think there will be time slots to fill the matches because availability is a thing, and 4 weeks is still not too long to fill out a full double elim bracket, so it's just whenever people are available, and then hopefully they won't overlap a
Yeah,
match.
normally, like when an overlap is happens, and the people are a bit flexible, one like two players push their match like an hour earlier or later. But sometimes you can just play exactly that time, and then we'll have two matches at the same time, but hopefully not more, and hopefully this won't happen too often. But you will definitely have quite a lot of roulette entertainment. Of course, not as much as in the last 3.5 weeks, but still a lot of matches and definitely some very high quality matches.
Yeah, well said. Yeah, I think that should be it then. I would like to say then thank you everyone for watching. And this image will go to the pin messages and whatnot. And not sure how we go about it, either pinging the players or they. I think they are mostly aware already, but
Still, if anyone wasn't aware, then they will be.
exactly. Yeah, that's how it will continue. And then very excited for the 4 weeks of the most high-level roulette action of the year, the World Championship knockout stage. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you, Yanni, for joining me on the as the host, as the bracket master, to making sure that it's all set up correctly.
Yeah, thank you for having me and letting me double check everything. And yes, was a pleasure. I'm very excited.
Then let's roll. Let's see how it goes and who becomes the world champion. Have a good night, everyone, and see you for the first match. Hopefully tomorrow, but definitely in the coming days. See you, everyone.
Bye bye.